What up? I'm your host, Joe T, and this is Bless This Conversation. And today we have...
Dre'a, a.k.a. Chef Dre'a.
And this conversation is about to be about mental health, the strength of a Black woman, and coming to the realization that you have to take care of yourself at one point. And when I say taking care of yourself, it's realizing that you've give and pushed and gave so much of yourself to other people and just keep going and you keep going and you keep going, probably because that's what your sense of norm is.
Mm-hmm.
No time, feeling like you don't have time to make sure you're okay, make sure your mental is okay, because you constantly making sure everybody else around you is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we look at that as strength, not realizing at time it could be making us weak, if it makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling today?
I feel good. I'm happy about this conversation. Think it's something I've been kind of avoiding for a while. Been talking about it in kind of little circles, but really being able to get in depth and have a male's perspective as well, so that it's not all emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, going through things, especially as women, when we do try to speak up, sometimes things come out different and they sound emotional.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like we're just being dramatic, but it's really the person, the individual. So I think, the first step into trying to outdo yourself is to accept yourself. I know that I am an emotional woman. I know that I'm a strong woman. I hate that word.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like when people call me strong because I swear to me, I'm strong and I'm thinking like body-wise, like, yeah, I done gained some weight. But what you mean strong?
Mm-hmm.
Like I still call my mama to cry. I still have moments, I got my best friends that keep me like grounded, but I sometimes don't feel as strong as everyone thinks I am. I think that I've kept it going for so long that I believe it, and I keep it, the image of it up, but internally, how am I really? Like how many bad days do I have compared to good days?
Right.
How many times do I just sit there not saying anything, not wanting to engage and do anything compared to me being out, and what does me being out really look like, you know? So, yeah, I'm just ready to get some stuff out. And
But before we get into who you are, how you ended up here in Dallas, right now, how would you say you are currently?
I'm okay. I am. The holidays is always a little, weird for me. My family's not here, but I do have a family here. My friends definitely took me in under their wings, so I never feel alone. But I'm okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Where you from?
I'm from Maryland. I'm from the DMV, from Baltimore, Maryland.
I hear the accent.
Sometimes I think it's gone because I'm kind of like, I be hanging around them Oak Cliff girls and my little accent kind of go up and down. But
no, it's there. It's most definitely there. How was it growing up in the DMV? Me, when I heard the DMV, Baltimore area, Black City, violent, drugs. It's what most of us hear. But, every time got a good side and a bad side.
I mean, yeah, but The Wire pretty much put it out there. I mean, if you knew, and that's not the now, that's the old. And The Wire, I think, was a good view of the city and what it really stood for. People look out for each other. There were rules and laws to abide by. There were steps and ways to handle that. It was a sense of community, even if the community was killing each other. I don't even know how to really explain it, but there was a point where people really did care about each other. The drugs aren't drugs anymore. The drugs are all made up and filled with stuff, and the kids got access to it way, way too soon. When I grew up, the kids that had access to it didn't want access to it because their parents were high off of it. And so I grew up with a lot of my friends have master degrees and they're working in social work back home, or they have community, centers now, because we grew up where we pretty much had to raise ourselves or, watch our other people raise other people's kids. It just wasn't, it wasn't that. But now it's like there's no real culture. It's just all over the place. Yeah. And everybody wants to be a gangster.
Right.
Baltimore don't have no gangsters.
That's real. Siblings? How many siblings?
Yeah, I have siblings. I say 7 in total. My mom, she was one of those moms, she took care of other people's kids, you know, and everything. But on my mom and dad's side, yeah, I'm the baby on my mom's side and the oldest on my dad's.
What's your relationship with your mom growing up? How was it?
My mom is just like I am now. She was a hustler. You know, she worked for the state. She was up in D.C. always, you know, go life.
Yeah.
You know, she was the party house. She cooked. She took care of everybody. So me and my mom always had a great relationship. That's my girl. You know, she did hair for 30 years. So she was the hair salon lady. You know, that's my girl still to this day. That's my best friend. I call her, you know, for everything. And I'm so grateful I still have her for that. So, you know, as she gets older, I get older, we go through things, and me not being there kind of like,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's important to have that go to their parent.
Yeah.
Because you said something in the beginning I don't think a lot of us have, to be able to call and cry.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And still have mom to encourage you later on in life, and have an example of someone who was strong through it all as well. Because it's different getting advice from somebody you know what I'm saying, live through it as well. It's easier to talk to them. Did you and your mom always like have an open door policy?
Oh, mom's different. I mean, we talk. Like, I grew up in a household where everybody was friends. Like, you just talked. You just said things, you know, you made jokes, you know. We was always lunching. We was always doing something, you know. And so it was just always an open book. But my mom and I never really had to talk about some things because she knew me so well. Even now, I'm all the way in Dallas. I'm grown. I'm 41. It be the times when I need her the most, she'll call me or she'll be like, hey, I just did this. And I'm like, why? Because you need it. You know, just little things on how she shows up, you know, for the kids and stuff like that. And she's great. You know, my sister, however, I have a sister on my dad's side. She lost her mom and she was my stepmom, and she pretty much raised me from when I was like 5, like, you know, and I called her mommy because she was that dope. And you know, to be able to have a great mom and a great stepmom was just like a double plus for me. You know, but she's the one who got me in church, who reminded me about education and those values. So I had a balance there.
That's beautiful.
It wasn't always just about the hustle. You know, I get that from my mom. She sent us to Sunday school, but she wasn't at church. Stepmom, we was at church 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? She was the first Black teacher in Madison, Wisconsin. So education was top tier, you know, and that really gave me an urge to want more. So when the city did get crazy, it was nothing to call my dad and say, hey, I'm done. Can I come move with you? He was like, say less. I moved up there in the 9th grade. He's from Chicago, so he had a lot of stuff switching and, you know, transitioning to. So it just all worked out. But I was getting back to my sister's mom passed away. And so during this time, I feel that with her, but I can't completely feel how she feels not having her anymore, you know. But yeah, it's a blessing.
You just mentioned Pops was in Chicago. So when you were born, is that where he was, or was he?
No, so my dad was in the Army, and he was stationed in Fort Meade. Like I said, my mom was that girl, so she was at Fort Meade. They met there, you know. But yeah, my dad had, you know, was in that life for a long time. Him and my uncle, may he rest in peace. They grew up in the south side of Chicago. So growing up, I was back and forth throughout the years, you know, the holidays, the summers, or in New Orleans, well, down in Louisiana with my grandmother, his mom and everything. So yeah, it's always been a traveling family.
That's 3 tough cities you just mentioned. Maryland, Chicago, New Orleans, getting a mixture of all of that, I'm pretty sure contributed to your strength, vision, understanding, hustle. Who did you get your hustle from?
Honest, I would say my mom, but it wasn't. I would say my brothers. And, you know, just watching them, I was always the one in the back. People be like, she's weird, because I'm not trying to be seen. I always been low key. I listen more. And so growing up, I was around a lot of stuff I shouldn't have been around, but I listened and I paid attention. And if the numbers made sense and things was moving around, I'm like, okay, so that's how you do that. Okay. she finna mess up because she talks too much. So I'm just like paying attention on so much on the back end, and it taught me how to, I guess keep my head on the swivel.
Right.
But also how to keep things moving, when that pressure get on, So the hustle, it just came from those I was surrounded with. But definitely, my big homie.
And you graduated high school?
Yeah, I did. I graduated from Southern. I graduated with Cherry Hill and East Baltimore people. In 2002.
Kids?
Yes, my son is 22, and I have a 13-year-old daughter.
How old were you when you had your first?
My son was fresh out of high school, 19. Had him when I was 19 years old.
19.
18 going, 19.
You had mentioned when we were conversing before the interview, you mentioned you left home because you wanted to save your son.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? What's your mindset at 19 and understanding, like what was it back home that you knew I need to get him away from that, and what had already from your environment and atmosphere touched and kind of latched on to you that you didn't want for him?
Every damn thing. Lamont, well, we used to call him Bumpy back then. Bumpy was my world, and during that time he had to be 6, 7 years old. He was so full of life. He was so happy all the time. Like, that was my guy. We had a great time, But on the inside, like, my stepdad was a pure crackhead, and he would have great days, and his bad days would be him coming home and stuff is gone, but he looked up to him. He didn't know the bad in him. We were really good in our house, in our family on shielding what people was really doing. Your favorite person really wasn't the greatest person. Let's just say that. But growing up, at that time we was over East Baltimore, and I don't know if you know, but like the gorillas are real tough in the city from the, like from Jessup, the black gorillas. And so at this point, the kids are now trying to be, what they can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not even for the streets, and I don't even know what's going on right now. But my son was in daycare, and my son was in daycare, and I had actually went out to the movies, see the Book of Eli. You remember how long that movie was? I sat in that whole movie. Came home to my son from daycare, and the daycare lady was acting fun, because this is when you can leave your kids at the daycare house, pay your little $40.
Yeah.
Can you watch them? I'll be right back. Type. It was one of them type situations. We ain't had to pay $200.
Right. Right.
It was still a good little day.
Right.
However, it came with things, and so when it was time for me to pick up my son, she was real nervous. And I'm like, what's going on? I get to my son, and he had this ligature mark around his neck. And I'm like, yo, Pop, what happened? Well, Bumpy, what happened? And he just wouldn't tell me. She was like, she went downstairs, and he was just swinging. And I'm like, what you mean? Why didn't you call me? My mom had actually went over there. She's so nervous. She don't know what's going on. She said, well, he said he thought he was Spider-Man. I was like, Spider-Man? And I keep trying to talk to my son. He's scared. We leave the house. He was like, they don't want to be my friends. Come to find out, her daughter's the ones bullying him going to school. And when he get to school, my baby ain't being put in lockers. They tease him because he's proper, because I taught him how to be articulate. You get what I'm saying? I talked to him in a certain manner. I read books to. I tried my best by my son. So he wasn't out here talking crazy, and he didn't have caps all in the front. Right? He wasn't one of them.
Right.
This is a real good kid, and they treated him bad, and he didn't fight. He wasn't a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just like his mother. He's so soft. He just trying to get you good.
Right.
And so when I asked him what happened, he said that, and the stories kind of switched a little bit. So at that moment, it's time to go. I've been to Wisconsin, because at this time, I had lived in Madison. Like I said, I went for high school when I needed a chance at life. And I knew what that did for me with the church life, the education, the family, the non-existence from the BS, right? Like, it was clean, it was different, it was a lot of white people.
Right.
Totally different.
Right.
Whereas where we from, all his teachers are black, all his kids are black. Like, you might see a few Hispanics or so, but Baltimore culture is totally different from a lot of other places. Right. You know, it's not as blended as other places. And so, yeah, I packed him up and we had to go. Yeah. You know, it was just, I was afraid for his life. I was afraid that I was going to lose him. At the same time, I didn't know how to respond to it. It was all emotion. You know, when I hit his dad, I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Can he come live out in the county with you for a while until I figure something out? And he's like, I don't have space.
What was your relationship with his dad at that time?
At that time, our relationship was horrible. He chose wrong. And I'm going to say it on the podcast because he did. They divorced now. But he chose a woman that was more so focused on me than them. And it caused a issue with our relationship where he could no longer come and pick his son up unless she was with him. He could no longer call and talk to him unless he was on speakerphone. It was just awkward, and he named for him. So it's like, you know, their bond and relationship kind of went down in the gutter. And but at that moment, that's when I started just having his brother more, his older brother.
Yeah.
Who I've always raised since he was 2.
So you was open to co-parenting?
Yeah, it's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my mother's child. I'm going to take care of a kid.
That's real. That's real. I got to bless the conversation real quick because there's a lot of men who deal with women who have pushed them to not be in their kid's life. Ain't no way you're a real man. You in that point right there, that's weak. Because should nobody be able to keep you away or cause a wedge between your children? It's no way you should quit answering your phone worrying about how she feel, not knowing if your kid's sick, need anything, you don't know what's going on. Ain't no way you should not be trying to be in your kid's life over some coochie. Like it
happens so much. And a lot of it ain't even over the coochie. A lot of times, a lot of these young women are holding that money, that bag, that, well, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do that, those threats. And to the men, that's not the woman you want. And that's really when you need to get up and move around. You really don't have to give nobody too many opportunities to show you who they are.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So the moment I act funny towards your child is the moment I'm no longer in your life.
Man, you through.
You get what I'm saying?
About my child?
Yes.
Yeah, you're done.
When I packed him up and moved him across the state, he felt the way. But at this point, buddy, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I'm definitely not going to leave him here and have him in the mix of this with us.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never disrespect you in his presence.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
I promised him 2 things. I'm going to keep, I make sure I could take him to the dentist. I keep him healthy. He graduate and I do right by him. I did all those things and I teach him how to put God first. And, I tried to do right by it. But now, to fast forward, now with Lamont being 22, there were a lot of things that I missed. Because now I'm on my own. And I got to figure so much out. So all that love and energy I used to be able to give to him on a constant basis was now gone. And our relationship started like kind of getting a little weird. And I thought it was okay, but now he's a man. I'm like, Dad, do I really know my son?
Yeah.
Like, who is this?
That's crazy. I do want to rewind and go back to you saying that your stepdad was an addict. Did you realize that at a young age? Was something exposed? Did something happen? Because I know you said it was time you came home and certain things were missing.
I mean, yeah, a fiend when you see a fiend, you know what I'm saying? And some people have addictive personalities, and I think that my mom's was taking care of people. She was addicted to being someone's person, right? And I love her, and we don't judge her for that. She loved that man loved her. He had bad days, he had good days. His good days was great. The bad days were horrible, but I've been around and seen enough to know when people aren't right. But yeah, every man in my life got high.
I was just about to ask you that. Did drug addiction hit anybody else close to you?
Every last one. And I think that's why I'm so afraid for my son at times. Because when I say every last one, I mean every last one. On my dad's side at least, like my grandfather, my uncle died of ODing, my dad, my brother, he passed away 2 years ago of a fentanyl overdose. My cousins, and these all 20-somethings. They all messing with that coke or something. Like they want something higher than just, what they getting, and I don't know what it is, you know? And so I get a little nervous when it comes to my son shutting down at times, because he also lost his brother. His brother was real big in the city, Montez. That's my stepson that I raised. And he ended up blowing his brains out. So like a week before his birthday, a month after my brother passed. And the story that I've gotten now, again, going back to females, right? She wanted everything. He was stealing Morgan trying to make it. Like, he was real dedicated, focused, Coppin State. And, you know, I was proud of him. He had got out of everything he was going through. He went back to school. He was focused. He was motivating others. If I show you his Instagram, you can be like, what?
You're right.
But the backstory is she wanted this. Oh, I need this. I need that. And he couldn't handle the pressure. And while he's making all these calls on the side, like he need light bill money, insurance, you thinking it's small. Whole time this young man crumbling because he can't handle it.
How old was he?
Montez was 23 years old.
Under that kind of pressure.
Under that kind of pressure to provide, you know, and I think that's when my heart broke.
Yeah.
The most. My brother definitely broke my heart, but I think with Montez, it just really did something to me.
Hold that thought, cause we're gonna let's get to yeah. Hold that thought, cause that was a lot. How did you end up in Dallas?
So after my son's situation in Baltimore, when I packed up, we moved to Wisconsin. There, I met my daughter's father. Yeah, and he's an engineer. He had a job here, and yeah, we were engaged. And like any, you know, good man would, he brought me along. And I had actually got pregnant with my daughter, and so we decided to move here. Packed up and moved. We moved here. Maya's 13. I had her here, so we've been here for a while. The first 6 months, I had her in August. I was back home. I was back in Baltimore by January. Yeah.
When you cause I know you have a love for cooking. I was actually I was at the bar the other day chilling, and I heard two people talking about they had just left from where you work at, and they were just talking about how good the food was. And I was like, yeah, that's the homie. She actually finna be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Where did your love for cooking come from?
It wasn't a love for it. It was that transition. Like I said, when I got here, was here. Long story short, that relationship was not for us, but I prayed on it, and I was like, I went back home and I was like, yo, I already left here. I cannot be here. My brother like, I'm gonna buy you a car. My mother was like, well, get your sister. She'll find you a townhouse or something. Everybody, again, that support, that community. We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry about nothing. But then I don't ever have to figure anything out, and I kind of got used to it. You know, I kind of got a little feel for it, and I liked it, you know? And so I didn't want to go back to that. I didn't want to go back to everybody taking care of me all the time. And so I said, Lord, you know, if it's not for us in this relationship, let your will be done for me and my kids. Came back, he's still doing the same thing. I stacked my bread. The family had support, bought the car, got the crib, and we was out. So I've been on my own down here for about, 12, probably like 11, 12. Yeah, so it worked out.
I commend you for that.
You know what I'm saying? And it was the main thing, like I said, I'm not about to argue. My kids is everything. You know, now I got this little girl. And she just like me. I'm not about to break her spirit because we don't like each other. It's okay, brother. I love you here. Like, I'm about to business. I'm still when you got time, but we're not about to do all that.
Right.
No.
How you keep your composure like that? Because I wanna dig more to, because you mentioned one of the exes ended up going to the feds.
Rocky. Yeah. So that part, that was during Wisconsin. Actually, I was still with him.
Okay.
He was still locked up. He was locked up when we left the city. The city got real crazy, real disrespectful. What happened was, I think my patience came from that relationship.
Okay.
He's a Muslim, you know, and so the standards and like the mannerisms, different things I was just accustomed to when it came to showing up, you know, but him never being around so much, I became patient. I didn't have a choice. And that's the only person I wanted around me, so it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And he was so motivational as far as like keeping me in line, keeping my head together. You know how that jail talk go, like, baby, I can motivate an ant. You know, so he always just made me feel like I was the only thing in the world that mattered, you know, and that was important to me. He made me feel so special, you know, but the fact is, let's just break it down. Yo got locked up because he cheated, and the girl the one who told on him, and I still stuck around. Let's just break that down real quick, but we can go back. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, let's talk about that, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
What?
Long story short, yeah, he had got a life sentence. I did probably a good, while he was locked up, maybe a good 5, 6.
When did you find out about the girl? As soon as the case happened?
Yeah.
At the trial.
She the one who told, but she was also underage. So it was like how they handled him. It didn't matter what he did.
Right.
It's how they handled him.
Mm-hmm.
So how they handled him is how I protected him.
Mm-hmm.
So I went got the transcripts. I went got the files. I went to the innocent program. I'm talking about cases.
Yeah.
It wasn't no, Took him to the law office over there at University of Maryland, dropped him off, gave him the little money.
And for the auditor, this ain't your kid, this ain't your son, dad.
No.
Yeah. This basically the first man you love.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that loved me back.
Mm-hmm.
And protected me. That's very important to know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's who made me feel protected,
mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah, I did all that. I did all that,
mm-hmm.
you know, and probably 3 Christmases ago, I get a call. What's up, baby? What's going on? It ain't no collect call though.
Yeah.
You know, he must got another phone. You know, what I'm like, what's going on? You know, he like, nothing. I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm like, boy, but by that time, we was here. You know how I go. Oh, I'm coming home in 6 months. Oh, I'm coming home in 9 months. Oh, I'm coming home in I got so drained with that.
We're just trying to hang on.
I could care less. Because at this moment, we're talking about years.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about 8 years done went by.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't expect was to mature the way that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm out here protecting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to figure it out myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the patience to deal with your phone calls and wonder why there's no money on the phone because ain't no food in the refrigerator. You get what I'm saying? The light bill, $200. The rent this, the car note this. My son need that. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
You know, so my attitude changed towards him. I was no longer the I got you, I'm going to show up. And that just irritated our whole...
The emotional attachment left.
It did.
Yeah.
It did because now I'm on my own, you know. And this is like through the relationship with my daughter's father, we were still talking. He felt the way I had a baby, but come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Is that the process you feel women go through in general, whether it's somebody locked up or somebody that once that emotional attachment, once it's no longer emotional attachment?
What we got to talk about? Because, I mean, like, if we talking like that, if there's no emotion, you know, take care, friend.
Yeah.
I am such a realist when it comes to letting people go. Holding on breaks you down.
Let's pause right there. Do you think they come from a numbness?
Yeah.
Or literally, or from a healthy place of understanding? I have to get away from this.
I think both.
Mm-hmm.
I think some things that I've been through that we won't get to, you know, and everything has really just put me in a place of, you know, I already kind of know, you know, you already can kind of feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm highly intuitive, you know, and so I can read a situation before you play me. I can allow you to play me just to let you think you got it off. Yeah, I'm not gullible and I'm not dumb, you know, so we can start talking, you know, and be like, ooh, I got da-da-da-da, you know, he woo-woo-woo, and girl, he da-da-da. And then, you know, you could say one thing, and I'll be like, girl.
There it is.
Be like, what happened to such and such? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds like a gift, though. I know you said you did go to church growing up. It sounds like your discernment.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of us that grew up like that, the discernment is high like that because of the environment that we in. It ain't just survival. It's a real gift that we have, the ability to be able to see things and see, if I don't cut it off, where it's going to end up at months, a year later from now. I already knew.
Yeah. And even, but going back to the mental health part of it all, it's a lonely place, you know,
to have that kind of discernment.
To have that kind of discernment, Because who do you talk about it to?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How do you explain these thoughts or feelings without feeling like you're going crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, at the same time, I don't believe in assumptions. I don't like to make assumptions. I give people a fair chance or a situation a fair chance, you know, but it's a lonely place because you're like, can I trust it? Is it safe? Is it going to protect me? You know, instead of me getting my hopes high and getting into it, I'd rather just, I can protect me.
And then it turn around and it's lonely because you ain't got nobody to talk to, but it end up lonely because you're the go-to person.
Yeah, again.
On that level of discernment, you able to tell people what you see about them, what's going on and how to protect them. No, and it's just you giving yourself again. Now we here in Dallas, second guy, because I want to get to the point of asking you not to insult Black men, but to get your perspective on just Black men now, then, and what we are from a woman's perspective, because we see the podcast, we hear the narrative, the conversation when it come to us as a culture. Me as a Black man, though, I do feel like a lot of us are behind in a lot of different ways. A lot of us are not emotionally available. I don't like the excuse of what you've been through, what you didn't have when you 30 plus. It's a choice. When it comes to the understanding of being a provider and not being controlling and understanding protecting a Black woman that's been through so much. If you know you coming to do just as much harm to compound that, why insert yourself? I want to hear it from a Black woman's perspective, things you went through, seeing men addicted, seeing men go to prison, understanding why he went to prison. Like you said, detaching yourself from your son, from your daughters. Like what, how do you see us? Shoot it straight.
Well, first thing, you know, knowing me, you know, I don't disrespect Black men. I'm very high. I respect the man so much, because the men I grew up around, regardless of what they were, right? That's who protected me, right? Those uncles, my dad, you know, all of that. My grandfather was the first one, you know, a real solid man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in Annapolis. He was working on the Navy ships. He couldn't even, you know, be in the Navy. But he was a solid man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met a man so solid. Grew up years later, kind of find out he had a whole family on my grandmother, right? Didn't nobody know. But in my eyes, I don't see no wrong. But now you got to realize you got this whole extra family over here that came from this perfect man, right? But you still have to respect him. Still can't talk nothing on him. That was the life he chose. Same time, grandma knew. That was that old quiet love. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of learned how to, I pretty much don't judge a man on who he is, right? I judge him on his actions. And when I say judge, I mean you can be from wherever you're from, you know? But how you show up in your everyday life. Are you ambitious? Do you show up for others? Are you willing to help others? Are you a selfish human being? You know, do you pray? You know, seasons, up and down. How do you handle them? When you're broke, when you got money. You know, what does this look like for you? You know what I'm saying? That's why I look at in a man on how he carries himself as a man, just like a woman. Like just like a friend of me being having a girlfriend. How you moving? You know, is you always breaking up? Is somebody always leaving you? Is you always broke? A bill always due? You know, same level, right? Like not my high, not my friend. So I just pretty much just look at it from that lens. But no, I don't believe that Black men are the same as they were. I think we lost a lot of power and sense with social media, just to be clear. I grew up in the 90s. So I grew up with, you know, if you know, word of mouth, you know, you got to really go to the hood to find somebody. You don't see faces, you know, no names, no face, no case.
Yeah.
You know, and nowadays it's all on the image And people want to show these images of themselves, you know, and this is what we think a black man should look like. You know, like that black love thing. Like we fight. We like, oh, they look so cute whole time. She cheating on yo. They ain't even together.
Yeah.
But we believing in this love scene that we're seeing, you know, and it's just kind of put the pressure on the men, just like I think with my stepson, to be bigger than you are.
Yeah.
You know, that's saying don't outgrow your britches or whatever y'all used to say. It's like, come on.
Too big for your britches.
Yeah, but that's why I think they wear skinny jeans now.
Never could I do that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They ain't no space for growth.
Mm-hmm.
The limp is like, where you going?
Right.
You don't, ain't nothing hanging, ain't nothing growing. You just tight. You just in there.
Yeah. Do you feel?
But I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What I feel like, you know, like for instance, last year I threw my first Father's Day brunch.
Okay.
A lot of people was like, why are you doing it for Mother's Day? Why are you doing it for Mother's Day? Like, this is exactly why I'm not doing it for Mother's Day. Because y'all talk too much. I love my mothers. I'm a mother. I'm here. We always doing something. We do brunch, we do lunch, we do dinner, we do nails, we do spas, we do all that. But nowhere in the city, nobody is doing anything to do with fathers.
Yeah.
So I had a Father's Day brunch. I got a house, cook, gourmet steak, like meals and everything. Was a beautiful thing. I had a good little turnout. I'm expecting it to be more this year, you know, because someone's doing it. Everyone's like, don't nobody worry about the fathers. Don't nobody do nothing but for the fathers. Okay, so I am.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, we talked. And it was older men, younger men, different, you know, finance brackets or whatever, supporting each other. They prayed to each other. They asked each other questions. I didn't even have to Q&A. I had to say nothing. I just provided the space.
Yeah.
I made a comfortable space with some good food, a little couple drinks, you know, good music, and the brothers was able to get with each other.
That's real.
And that's how they're even coming back together, say, oh, so what we doing this year for the Father's Day dinner? Yeah, let's do it. Because to change the narrative that all black, that we don't care about y'all. To change the narrative, don't nobody ever do nothing for y'all. To change the narrative that, oh, we got to beg and it got to be this and it got to be that. No, you can call me on a Tuesday and say you hungry.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to say you hungry. You know what I'm saying? I could read your status and see you there. I'm going to check on you. You cool? You need a hug? A lot of brothers that I know from the club actually call me.
Yeah.
Or I had one, I was outside doing my pop-up one day. Man, walked up and was like, I need a hug. I was like, okay. And I hugged him and he was just like bawling and lost his mom. But for some reason, I was the person he came to. You know, so it lets me know that I make people feel comfortable enough to be themselves and be vulnerable. I would love a black man to be vulnerable with me. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out together. Because I'm raising one that I don't get.
Yeah.
He's kind of losing me right now. I don't know, because these young boys, there's no sense of urgency and hustle. And when I bring hustle up to my son, oh, you want me to sell and da-da-da. Boy, shut up.
Right.
I would, but you can't sell dirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do want you to have some action about your life. I do want you to be motivated to do something, you know? So I don't think that there's enough support for the younger, the 20-somethings from our black men that we have that are about something that's consistent enough.
Right.
There aren't any boys and girls clubs anymore, right? I don't think they do Big Brothers because they didn't have enough volunteers. The ratio was off.
Right.
You know, so I do feel like there needs to be a gap filled so that these young men don't feel so obligated, for one, to take care of these fast-ass little girls without having an education themselves. You know, and I don't mean just the GED. Higher education is important, and we should definitely be pushing it. We should be pushing it more than just saying, oh, you don't need it, you can just go do this. Everybody think they could just be streamers and do that. Higher education is what's going to get our black men where they need to be when this world is not what it is now. And it ain't now. It's going to be worse. You know? And so I'm tough like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wherever you need me to figure things out for you, we're going to figure this out, because I don't want you to fail. Not as a black man, not as a man, not as a human. You know, but yeah, I'm different.
That's real. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I lost my capacity to carry like that, unless it's my child.
Yeah.
You know, because at some point I started asking myself, am I taking care of me, or am I trying to heal people that I'm familiar with, how they look back home, how my environment look back home? When I'm listening to you, I'm hearing a sense of brokenness that you still trying to heal from everything you've ever experienced. But it's beautiful that you still have the heart for that. Because in the conversation we also talked about when is it about you? Your love, like your mom, always being open to everybody else, always being that shoulder to crown, always being the mouth that's, nourishing and pouring into people. At what point do you say, I need a break, not to change who you are, but to get your nervous system back right? When do you say no? When do you, because, and then you mentioned a lot of death. Your brother passing fentanyl overdose. If we can, what led, what's that? What was your relationship with your brother? What transpired? When that hit you, how did it feel?
It was actually it was like deja vu for me, because the year prior we had lost my stepmom and I was at work. I was going to work at the club, opening the club.
The stepmom, the education?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, she had some complications and just never woke back up. And we ended up burying her on my birthday. Yeah. And so, and like I said, she meant a lot to me. My kid's Nana, when I left, I didn't go to my dad. I went to her.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's how dope of a woman she was.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't nothing else but her. She was just amazing. But over the years, her being who she was as a stepmother, as a woman, my relationship with my siblings was never different. I lived there sometimes, but even when I was out of state, she made sure that we were always knowing that we were together, that we was all we had, we were siblings, So my relationship has always been a little distant with people because I've always lived at a distance, no matter where I've been. But my brother was my love, my Gaby. He thought I was the softest girl in a woman, which I am, which the skin is high, but I remember when my dad was getting, he was on his binges, and it was Gabriel's 13th birthday, and my dad popped up, and Gabriel cried and ran up to his room, and luckily I was there during that time, and all I asked my dad was to do was just give us space. He's like, he fussing, you ain't got, that's my son, I could do. I was like, if you'd please leave my brother alone. And in that moment, I spoke to my brother and I was real with him. And he was like, he don't want me. I was like, he didn't raise me neither, but that don't make me no different. I was like, God made us for us. Like, he'll come around when he come around. I had to really talk to him like he can understand. He didn't understand, but I had to get him prepared for what was coming.
Right.
Because I knew that it was only going to go downhill from there. It wasn't going to get no better. And even if it did, it wasn't going to last too long. And that's the way it went. And that's what he saw. But through those years, he craved my dad's attention so much because that was his guy when things were great. Same here. When things are great, it was great. And I believe once he lost his grandmother and then my stepmom is when he kind of just drifted. And my sister was telling me, yeah, I think he getting high. I was like, girl, whatever. No, he not. He wouldn't do that. She's like, no, I found a pipe. I was like, well, it's for weed. He not smoking. Like, come on. But we talking about Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know if you've ever been there. The access to drugs is crazy. When I say 80% of the people are doing drugs there because of the access, and I'm talking about drugs. I ain't talking about smoking. Yeah, like, and I've been in plenty rooms where I've heard, and had to keep my head forward because I've never been pressured to do it. So in my mind, like, he had to ask for it. Somebody must have slipped him something. How did he get on this? Never knowing all of that, right? When we went to bury her, it was her repast. We're looking for Gabriel. It's in there like a library. He downstairs just smoking out in the library basement. Me and my sister packed that boy up. And it was like the moment we were all siblings. It was like so bad, but so good. Like, I just loved that we was just like, me and my sister looked at each other. We ain't even finished the repast. We packed him up, called his people. We drove him all the way to Milwaukee. But we didn't fuss at him.
Mm-hmm.
We poured into him. We told him how much we loved him. Anita Baker came on, so he felt like our stepmom was with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all in the car singing. We just letting him know that we support him and we're here for him. Like, it's gonna be okay.
How he responded?
Tough. He just loves us. He thought we were disappointed. He was mad. He kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm disappointing y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm not perfect." And I'm like, none of us are. But we're not gonna let you go through it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I said to him was like, I'm not gonna let you kill yourself. So the morning he called me, it was like 5, 6 in the morning. I've been in the clubs. I work. You know, I'm getting off 2, 3 in the morning. So at this point, they already used to not having me answer my phone as much and stuff, but they be blowing me up. At this moment, I'm like, let me answer my phone. Mm. And I'm like, Gabe, what's up? He's like, sister. Mm-hmm. He like, sister, you answered. I love you. Da, da, da. I just want to talk to you about this. I just want to talk to you about this real quick. Hold on. Don't hang up. Like, you know, when you get me on the phone, you got to talk fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, Gabe, let me call you as soon as I wake up. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, just hold on. Let me just tell you. I was like, okay. He talking a little bit. I was like, all right, I'm going to call you when I wake up. Mm-hmm. Wake up, didn't call him. I was moving around. I did call him. He didn't answer. By the time I got to work at 4:00, my sister calling me again. And I'm just like, yo. She was like, yeah, they just found Gabe because he was supposed to go to work. That's why I was like, oh, he probably was at work. And they was like, yeah, they just found Gabe in a hotel. He OD'd. And I was like, what you mean? I don't think it was intentional. I think he was just getting high, but didn't know what was in it. But in that moment, I couldn't cry. As like a part, like it was almost like something left me.
A relief?
A little bit, but it was like a pain came. It's like something left, but it's like
something sit on you at the time.
Just kind of sat on my chest. And in that moment, I'm like, okay, I got to get there. I got to tell my son. I got to tell my daughter. I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay, let's go figure this out. Mm-hmm. And when I get there, my dad's feeling away because he never mended that relationship. Mm-hmm. They were living together and he just never wanted to have that conversation that needed to be had. He just wanted to talk to you. They both calling me about each other. I'm like, yo, y'all talk to each other. Mm-hmm. I can't fix y'all. Mm-hmm. Y'all can only fix y'all. And my dad has always been in denial about his drug addiction. So when he's in his moments, he'll be like, I ain't high, I ain't never, you know, because he holds all this clout and things behind him, you know. But the backstory is, you know, you definitely was one of them people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, before you moved on with life. So, you know, you still living your little gangster, little fly guy, mm-hmm. little lifestyle. But then you also became a pastor.
Who we talking about?
My dad.
Pops. Okay.
Right? You did all this in the church. You had us in there. You had us believing that this is the way a family should move. This is the way your daughter should act. You know, I'm talking about cotillion balls and all this and, you know, go to college, getting a sorority, like all of these things. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Being Job's door, all these things that you're saying we need to be, and you can't even stand up to it. Mm-hmm. So when it came time to go bury my brother, that was hard, but he looked so good. Mm-hmm. Oh, he looked just like me. His skin was so, it was like in that moment he was at peace and I was okay with it. Mm-hmm. What I wasn't okay with, my dad cutting up because you had a chance. But I also felt bad because me and my sister did have to like circle back and apologize to him.
To your dad?
Because the way we treated him.
I couldn't
console him. Like that was, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Did you ever tell me? Because everything you said, you've always tried to pick up the pieces.
Because it's like who won't? Mm-hmm. It's a mess out here.
Yeah.
And the mess been trying to look good for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And all I know is I got to protect my kids. Mm-hmm. You know, but I also like to know the truth. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know the truth. Like, you could have saved your son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, have that guilt. live with that, sit with that.
Yeah.
But you could have saved your son. Having that conversation or putting him in rehab, going through the same things you went through, you were the best person to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That day when he came home on his 13th birthday, that was from rehab.
Mm-hmm.
He was only in town for the birthday. You get what I'm saying? So you've been through it, Dad.
Right.
You know, and you can go back to the mental health, the voices or whatever's going on in your head, but how do we really heal this?
Right.
And I don't think we can. I think that there are just some people with that addiction. That's their life.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to let them live their lives. Some people get out of it. Some people die with it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't expect my brother to be a part of that and have his life taken away because now the drugs aren't even pure enough for the kids to get high.
Mm-hmm.
And they still dumb enough to smoke it. That's when that fentanyl was real. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like it was put out there just to really kill a whole generation.
Facts.
Because they was real dumb enough to keep on smoking.
I want to bless the conversation real quick when it comes to when it comes to shame and guilt. Now you good. When it comes to shame and guilt, especially on a black man, I can remember before I got locked up, 2007. I got locked up in July. My daughter's birthday. I got locked up July. I got arrested July 27th. My daughter's birthday, July the 8th. The incident happened June 14th. At that point, my life was upside down. No money, no hustle, not doing nothing, especially when it comes to the street life. I had a lot of guilt and a lot of shame when it came to my daughter's birthday because I couldn't do nothing. And I remember my mama giving me $100 and telling me, go buy her something and come to but I remember how I felt. And in that, I wanted to be in flight mode because of my shame. Not only that, knowing that my mama seen it too, I didn't like, even at that age, black women seeing that I felt like I was dropping the ball, even at that age, the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
At this age now, there is no such thing as shame. It cannot live with me. I have a village of people that I can go to, so I want to talk to black men who not confronting issues because of where you are financially or where you are mentally. You feel like it ain't nobody that you can go and talk to. And a lot of times you done convinced yourself that ain't nobody there for you, and you done overlooked everybody who has tried to be there. All of us can't say ain't nobody never been there. I ain't got nobody to talk to. That's a lie.
That is.
You got to quit telling yourself, because it's somebody done called and checked on you in the last 30. There's somebody done shot a text, say, I ain't heard from you.
Yeah.
There's somebody still interacting with your social media. It's you choosing not to say what you got going on internally, and that could suffocate you. You suffocating in silence, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's how my soft side gets created, that part right there, because I know that's exactly what it is. It's that shame. It's that guilt. But I think the safest place for a man at that moment is knowing that he's still supported through it all, you know. But the shame is still, like, even with, you know, the relationship between a child and their father or mother and child, because all women aren't perfect. Some single dads out here, right? But a lot of people don't come around because of that. My son's father, with everything that happened with Shorty, when he got with her and things, like, he wasn't in his life for almost 8 years.
Shame.
It's all because of shame. You know, and he didn't know how to come back and approach it. So he went through my mom. Everybody gonna go through my mom. He went through my mom, and he showed up at his graduation. And I cried because I heard my son in the house talking about daddy. I haven't heard him say that. And yeah, I'm talking about years. Like, he's 17. He's saying daddy. Last time I heard him say daddy, like that was when he was like 6.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I taught him right, because he was angry for a while.
Yeah.
You know, he did have resentment about him. He would go to the city and not call his father. You know what I mean? His dad would blow his phone up. He'd answer the phone for everybody but yo. You know? But in that moment, I told him, I was like, you could either live like this for the rest of your life and be a bitter man, a bitter broke man, because God don't bless you with no bitter soul. You know?
You're right.
Or you can learn how to forgive, move forward, and aim to be a better man. Right. The fact that he didn't know what he was doing as a father, as a man, you know, whatever. He tried.
Yeah.
He tried. If he wasn't trying, then cool. But he tried. So don't ignore him when he tries.
Right. Don't ignore him when he
tries. And that's pretty much how those relationships get rebuilt, you know, not just letting it die out unless that's not what you want. Don't do it like me. Don't be like me.
Question. How long was the time between your stepmother passing and your brother again?
Oh, that was August of 2021. So that was August, and then the following May. And then
not even a year apart?
No. And then my stepson was the month after. So it was May, June.
3 deaths.
Yeah.
You said you didn't cry when your brother, at what point?
Well, I did eventually.
Later.
But yeah.
At what point did you grieve all of this? Did you realize you wasn't?
I realized I think I just went to food and alcohol. I've never been this heavy. That year after Gabriel passed, it got dark. I went back to work, and I'm working like I was all over the place. I'm at a Skeena local. No, like I'm working in places for like 12, 14 hours. I'm not eating. I'm drinking a lot more though. I was drinking so much I got my DUI. 40 years old, I ain't never even had a ticket. And I'm just outside losing my license, like throwing it away. You know, I had got my first DUI, and it actually was so bad I almost had a felony. Cause I was just drinking a lot. You know, it got so bad that my girls just looking at me like, yo, what's really going on? I'm not myself, but luckily I had friends that didn't encourage it. You know, you could have some people like, no, you good. Come on, let's go out again. Let's go out again. It's almost like after that time, it was monitored, you know, low key. And I paid attention to them. I peeped it like, nah, let's do this. How about we go do this? You know, instead of it being alcohol.
It was an intervention without being an intervention.
Yeah, because I think they definitely seen the change, but I definitely, I just been eating it. I was looking at pictures from me 2 years ago. I was like, oh my God, like that's real. And, you know, after a certain age, like I'm 41, it's harder. You can't just be sitting around eating anything thinking you're going to snap back. And so then that adds to a piece of the depression. I did see therapy. I talked to my doctor, and probably like 6 months ago, something like that, they were like, you know, borderline depression or pretty much like a functional depressed person. Whatever is what I said.
Yeah.
I'm not depressed. But then I look around my bedroom. I'm like, damn, you should clean up. Then I look in my living room. I'm like, hold on, why is this still here? Then I go to my car. You know, so now I'm looking like I may not think I'm depressed. I may not think I'm hurt, but all around me is just not okay. It's not my normal. You know, I'm always outside. I'm doing the most because I'm associated with the clubs because I'm working.
Deflecting, avoiding.
Yeah. So no, I haven't truly grieved. The moments I try to, something has to get done. You know, I went independent. I work for myself. So the money got to be made. You know what I'm saying? So I try to heal through the food. I try to heal through.
Who you talking to other than the therapist at that point?
My best friend T. She, we both went through some loss at the same time, but she's great. We talk. My best friend Jen, my mom, God. I journal a lot. Because that's really what's gonna tell a true story.
Right. What was you feeling? Because you just mentioned you seen all of that, the room, the car. I
felt embarrassed, overwhelmed. I felt like a liar because I'm out here like everything's okay. But when I get home, I could see it's not okay. I started sleeping all day. Sleeping all day. I get up, like I'll work Friday through Monday, and I'll sleep literally Monday through Thursday.
Did the people that you always carrying, not your friends, did you notice that a lot of people you carry wasn't checking on? Did you notice any?
Yeah, I lost a lot of people because of how I responded to the deaths. I disconnected. I stopped calling people as much. I have a best friend back home. I haven't talked to her in almost 3 years. She didn't do nothing. She's always been my girl since the 8th grade. And we've always had a tight relationship. But it was something after I lost my between like Montez, my brother and Montez, that just made me feel like I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
They both was calling me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? This is what I need everybody to understand. Like, they both were calling me.
Back to what I was saying.
For help, for something, because I'm that person for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not available. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and these, no. So no, I don't have time to talk about this. No, I don't want to hear about your relationship not going, it ain't going nowhere. Leave them. That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that person anymore. And even when Yo got out,
mm-hmm.
he didn't know who I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to deal with that too, because losing Rocky, even though he home, like, that broke my heart.
Yeah.
You know how I feel to have somebody gone for so long you waited for, and you still lose them because they can't handle who you are now. And I just was like, in that moment, you're not even going to check on me. You're not going to come see about me. You just going to let it go. So that was another thing that I lost him too. Like, it was just like a hit after hit after hit. And
what does, because I tell people all the time that healing is not it's a continuation, it's a practice. It's over time and still working on certain things. Your healing journey, because it's I'm sure somewhere in there it still felt like times you didn't want to get up, you didn't want to clean up, you didn't want to. What was the push through? What was the realizing?
That I'm all I got. I ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? I could sit in it. I could allow my daughter to watch me fall into this person she don't know. You know what I'm saying? And have her feel like this is how you handle things. I can, continue to tarnish my relationship with my son by not being,
Have you communicated this to them? Do they
talk?
Yeah.
My kids are probably the only ones who know the truth. My son knows when I say the truth, I mean the good days, the bad days, okay, let's just do this because I don't think mommy feeling it days. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be that person. But it's my truth.
Did they say something? Mama, you ain't the same.
Yeah.
What was that moment?
My daughter, she's a happy little girl. And we used to always have little moments, little girl moments and stuff. But she was just like little things like, Mommy, you don't get your nails done no more. And she know that was our happy time, Oh, Mommy, you don't do this no more. Mommy, can we do this? Or Christmas come or something, not asking me for anything. Because I know you're busy. I didn't want to bother you. And so it's almost like they're trying to protect me from me.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to be your mom.
Yeah.
And I get it and I love them for that, but I don't want that for them. At least like my son's grown. So when I talk about them, I mean just like in general of a image of who I am as a woman. Like right now, me and my son, I had to tell him like, you've known me as your mother. You know me as your mother. We grew up together. But I need you to understand and respect me as a woman. Who I am as your mother is totally different from who I am as a woman. So you're going to see me cry. I'm not going in the closet no more. I'm not taking a long ride no more. I'm not doing none of that. When I'm feeling it, you're going to see it. When I'm in it, you're going to hear about it. Because I want you to see that nobody is perfect. Especially this Black woman. I'm not that strong. You know my weaknesses. You get what I'm saying? And this is what the truth is.
I think that's important.
Yeah, because you get men, because you mentioned something, being protective but aggressive or something you were saying. My daughter's father, real cool dude. But he wants to control. And he feel like he needs to, you can't do that with a sensitive soul like myself.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You got to be gentle with me.
Yeah.
So me telling my son and teaching my son this is that way he can be a man and be a gentleman. And you could still be a strong man and assertive without being disrespectful, without making somebody feel small. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying right now just to be me, to be Andrea.
Yeah. And
she hasn't been around in years. I've been Dre'a.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of little things, but Andrea has not been around since her 20s.
I feel like I know my mama probably, I can say it now in hindsight that was stripped away from me being able to see a woman in every way. Because I've only seen my mama cry one time my entire life.
Yeah.
And that was at court. I was getting ready to get sent off. And I knew they were finna send me out, so I didn't go to court. But then they called and told me if I came in and passed a drug test, I was like, cool, because I ain't never did drugs. But by the time I walk in, the judge going in on my mama. And she turned around and she was crying. And they thinking probably I feel some type of way because my mama is sad. I'm thinking this got to be horrible when I get home. I've never seen this woman cry. I'm finna die. I ain't got to worry about getting sent off. But when it come to understanding, empathy, affection, understanding the emotional sides of a woman, I just seen my mama tough through everything.
Yeah.
So I expect that, you know what I'm saying? So when I could see certain things, I be like, man, hey, come on. Not understanding this is a vulnerable moment where you can, you know, contribute to another side. And I know for a fact it's probably a lot of men who don't understand to come down at times when a woman showing that. So I do commend you also for having that conversation with him and letting him know that, because I know that's planting a huge seed in him understanding that and not just expecting a woman like you seen your mom or you majority of your life to just pick up and just keep going and just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, it's like if he gets in a relationship and he's with a woman and, you know, she's going through one of those moments, it's not a time to think she's acting funny or weird. It's a time to step in and support. You know what I mean? Where she lack at. For instance, so like when ain't gonna be no dishes in my sink, but for some reason, mommy been in the bed, let's wash these dishes.
Facts.
My daughter do something like, oh, she been in there, let me clean the bathroom. Those are the little things. You get what I'm saying? Help me with the chaos.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't let me wake up and feel like, oh, I got to clean up, oh, I got to do this, because I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up and feel like I can accomplish 100 things. But then like sit in and be like, you know what? I'm about to hire somebody to come and do this. I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a safe place for me right now to just be myself. And I don't do much.
What's something you unlearned about I guess certain ways you've had all your life on up to everything that's went on to now, something that you I guess look back on like I'm letting that part of me that season of me is over?
Survival. I feel like I've been surviving since I left the city. When I packed Lamont up at 6. Whenever I left my mama, that's when I've been just on survival mode. I've taken everything I've learned, every hustle, every tactic, and I've made it a lifestyle that I thought that would work for me. But now I'm just done with surviving. You know, I got all these plans. I got cookbooks. I got this. I got all these things I was supposed to do that I've just kind of second guessed and said, oh, well, no, because I got to do this. I ain't going to be able to do that. Survival, right? I got to survive. I got to do this. I got to do that. Well, what if this don't come through? Then I got to do this and I got to do that. So I'm going to have to put this off for another year. So then that way I can do it like this. Well, they said it take like 5 years to really get it done. So I'm really on time. You get what I'm survival about overthinking on why I can't accomplish the things that God put me here to accomplish. Like, he ain't leave me here in Dallas for no reason. The fact that I came here and I made food, I made this cooking thing a real life. Like, I couldn't cook.
Yeah.
First baby daddy chicken was bloody. It was bad.
Yeah.
You know, I started baking cakes and stuff to survive here. You know, and that's how I started feeding my family. And then it went on, and then it went on, and then I just said, you know what? I'm great at this. And we just kept going. But yeah, I'm just done surviving. I'm done being okay. You know, that was your first question to me. How am I doing? I said, okay.
That's why I left it right there, because we got to turn that okay into something else.
Absolutely. And it hasn't been, it's not like I'm always just okay. But in this moment in life, yeah, I'm okay, you know?
What advice would you give right now to Black women in a dark place, in a place where they don't feel they have someone to talk to, realizing they may be depressed, and fighting through?
I would say, first thing first, go to God before social media. Don't post nothing about yourself. Don't go to others who don't know nothing about you for advice. Stop thinking people can get you through it. It's not a people thing. It's a you and God thing, right? And I believe that when you have faith, you know that even when you're going through your darkest times, that it gotta get better. Believe in that. Be insane about believing that the mess will be a blessing at the end of the day.
Yes.
And the more positivity that you pour into yourself, the better you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely I went through the phase of the manifesting, the light, the love, the woo, woo, woo. I got you. It's all good. All good. No worries. We got this. That was me. I'm just like, no, we got this. Let's go to hot springs. Let's vote. Let's meditate. I should have been a hippie, and I was in it and it worked.
Yeah.
It really just, it helped me get over some things. Like, what? Worry about that. Let's burn some sage. Right? It's not always that easy though.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in this point, I ain't burning no sage.
Yeah.
Ain't no woosa. I'm on, so it's like still going back and using those tactics though. I have breathing exercises. Yeah, we ain't burning no sage no more, but we definitely still working just in the reality. But my advice would be seek God before you seek help from others. And pay attention to the signs. It's there. Discernment works. Listen to yourself. Go outside every day, feel the sun.
Ooh.
Don't allow yourself to sit in the dark. I did that. That definitely brought me down. Didn't do nothing for the skin. But yeah, definitely in those dark days, get outside at least and get some sun on your life. Enjoy the little things, the little blue bonnets, the flowers, I don't know.
The simple things.
The little things in life, But don't Netflix and chill with yourself with a cheesesteak and a burger and chips and, alcohol. I highly don't recommend alcohol as a healer. It does a lot of bad things to you. It definitely makes you gain weight. It definitely throws off your brain cells. You're no longer focused. So then you have to restart. So now you're overthinking over again. So don't go to alcohol. It's not your friend. Never has been, never will be. And you save a lot of money. So every time you want to go buy a shot or a bottle, put it to the side. That's one thing I can say. Put that money to the side. And maybe if you was depressed, you won't be after a month if you thought you needed a drink every day. Be real proud of yourself.
Well, finesse say, back to the food. Quit all that dough dashing.
Yeah, oh Lord. Yeah, for real.
I got something I want to say to you. Again, I commend you. At some point, I think we all have to quit operating in the familiar place. Back home, to me, has died so much. The ways of things have died so much. Even when it comes to me being in prison, my first 3-4 years home, there was a certain lingo I was still carrying, a certain, about myself, paranoia. My discernment could be a blessing and a curse because at times I started using my discernment to get away from people more so than realizing the assignment. I could have still kept the boundary, but me in a fight or flight mode. I don't know if you ever heard of cortisol. Something in your body put you in fight or flight mode. It mess with your nervous system. And because of my nervous system of dealing with so much trauma and then people trying to compound that, a lot of me was in flight mode. Yours sound like the complete opposite. When you hear it, it's beautiful. But at the same time, it was never a what about me? And as you kept going, at some point, organized chaos sound like it started happening.
Yeah.
When you realized it, other things had started happening. It didn't have to be gaining weight. It didn't have to be but other things started, people started realizing. Sometimes that ain't even what happens to, because some people, they everything clean, everything look normal, and smile. Like I was telling bro the other day, you can see when fruit is Bananas, you see black spots.
Mm-hmm.
Strawberries, you see lemons.
Mm-hmm.
And when they attach to other things, you see how fast they kill them off too.
Mm-hmm.
Us, you can't see that. You can't see the wound that's taking over the body, because we know how to smile. We know how to keep pushing through. We know how to stay in survival mode, because I got to take care of these kids. I got to take care of these bills. I realized in my first 4-5 years home, not even realize I'm from pillar to post. Not realize I'm operating when it come to women, certain things I'm doing. When it came to sex, just going through a spin. It didn't have to be alcohol. It was something else.
Yeah.
At some point, I had to sit and look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I know you did at some point. A lot of what you said, it sounded like who you described in the beginning. Your environment.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, just carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying.
Yeah. So you get to the point where you look for people to carry you sometimes without being asked.
We have to have it.
Yeah. And I think that that's when the sadness comes, because the reality is there is nobody.
Ooh.
You know, and that's when you have to kind of sit in it and say, okay, if there's nobody to be a me for me, then how the hell can I be me for me? How can I reverse this and, you know, be a better version or a compliment to my own life?
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I see the difference in my eyes. My eyes don't look the same. I look sad. And someone said, a few people say that to me, you know, and one guy this past weekend, another chef, was like, Chef, why you always look so sad?
I don't think it's sadness. I think it's transition.
You know, and when he said, I was just like, what you mean? Like, I'm thinking, so I'm going to the bathroom, or maybe I need some eye gel, or maybe I need this, or maybe, no, it's just like, the weight.
Yeah.
And, you know, what I think of, what's in my head, how I move, that's just, it's just how my face is.
It's the transition. That's that transition phase. That's that transition phase.
But I'm not going to explain myself to everybody on why I'm sad. I'm not about to have a party of pity and say, oh, I'm sad because of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. What I am going to do is try not to be the sad person in the room. You know, so let me find something I like, or let me crack a joke, or let me show up. Again, me showing up, me being that person. But it's also helpful for me. Like, for instance, last night I was with my Dallas family, and we were playing a game, and I was just tired. I'm always tired, man. Like, ugh. So we started playing a game, and I'm like, let me just do these little we did the card game, and it was fun. And we laughed, and it was authentic, and we had a good time. It wasn't no pressure. It wasn't nothing to do with, it was just family, love, and a lot of laughter. And I think sometimes that's what we need the most. When you think, you know, especially during holiday seasons, when things are a little sad, and, you know, laughter cures, you know? So instead of going to another advice, instead of going to the clubs, go to some comedy shows.
Yeah, go laugh.
Go laugh.
Laughter is a cure for real.
It is. It is. And it's necessary, especially in this world we're living in. I know times is timing, right? Bills are high, food is high. Everybody just want to get high. You know, it's like...
They escape.
You're just trying to escape it all. You're trying to escape. But we can't escape it. It's just like, how do we keep... moving forward with it, you know, but better. So that we can have this conversation next year, this time, and be like, yo, remember? And I'd be like, and I told you and I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to do that, you know, because I felt like I've allowed myself to sit in this space for too long. I don't like it. And like I said, me getting older, I don't want to become that lady.
Do you have a favorite scripture?
I do. I do. It's the walk, the footprints, like, God, you know, I'm still walking beside you in some song, but the book of Ruth and the book of Esther, I really enjoy those books. It really shows like the purpose of a woman, you know, the divinity and what that looks like, just to be patient and go through some things, you know, but grow through those things, and how to be a person with unconditional love. And that's one thing that I try to strive and live. That keeps me going. I don't need you to give me anything for me to love you.
Right.
I don't need you to give me anything for me to feed you or show up for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, I'm blessed to just kind of get reacquainted with the sunbeam in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Brought a lot of healing to my soul, especially when it comes to continuing to love on people. It ain't that I've got to a place where I don't. There's a place where I'm just depleted and continuing to giving me. I want to lead this conversation with a scripture, he who started a good work will complete it unto the day of Christ. That good work sometimes you can't see all the way through. There's a process. I like to explain my life a lot of times. It's just a puzzle that I dropped out of a box. It's just pieces everywhere. And as you start putting them pieces together, at times there's pieces that don't fit. And you got to find the other one. And eventually it creates this picture, this beautiful picture that you saw what it could be. It's the process of going through it to put it together.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is, but when you read that scripture, you say he who started a good work, and then you hit this wall, or you run into these mishaps, you making mistakes, anxiety, depression, attacks from the enemy, chaos, trauma, childhood traumas, people falling off. And through that, you like, where is the good? Where is that?
When does it get good?
When does it get good? Because a lot of us don't get to stay in the place when it's good, when it come to us. Even when it get good in your mind, there's a when is this gonna stop? When is this person gonna do me like the last? When is this money gonna slow down, because it just seems like I can't never keep it to that extent. With saying that, I want to say this. A lot of times we also have to start paying attention to when he is putting putting them pieces of the puzzle together. We have to be accountable for some of our choices, some of the things we allow to creep in, because we easily identify the enemy when we too deep in it.
Yeah,
we start seeking versus allowing him for them people who call realizing don't keep going, come on out of it, because that great work. That good work that he started, it could get delayed. Yeah. And some of the choices or the joy that you don't start feeling, you don't start allow people to come in. They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You don't start allowing triggers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to happen. Yeah. And we all know in hindsight, we identify those things and we realize those things. But sometimes we got to be able to get in front of them, be proactive versus reactive. Because that's how all of us are. We wait till the doctor to tell us versus knowing you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
We wait till
you've been hurting for months.
You know it. You know what I'm saying? And we as believers, I think we got to get into a place of where we living in the goodness and relying and realizing that's not, let me not even, how I feel, that ain't of him. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. He said he didn't give me a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. He said to cast down everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of the Most High. I know this ain't from him. I know he don't want this for me. I know he don't want this person to be around.
Yeah.
At some point, let me lean more on that side and see how they work out, because then I'm taking care of myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say, unless you got something else you want to say.
I think that's a beautiful way to end it. This was a good conversation.
And we're going to do it again.
This was a good conversation. I think, definitely that. Definitely go into the word.
Yeah.
When you're a little, confused about things.
Yeah.
It definitely brings me comfort. I know it's, not everyone's thing, but that's definitely my thing. My daughter actually falls asleep to Bible verses, so even though we're not in church every Sunday because mommy always cooking brunch, we're going to definitely find a way to get that word up in us. But no, I appreciate you so much, Joe. It was good.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you opening up. I think we need them spaces to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we just bless this conversation. It's Joe T. and
Dre'a.